Hello everyone and welcome to Clarity 16.3.0 Feature Supportability Training. I am Vib Mehrotra, and as part of this section we will be talking about the filtering enhancements that's coming in Clarity 16.3.0. Specifically, the following three have been enhanced in the filtering capability. The first is that the filter panel's open and close state will be persisted per user per context, which means within each page, whatever is the user's context regarding open or closed state of the filter, we will persist that even when the user logs in and logs out. Second is the ability to include the same attribute multiple times in the same filter group. And last is the ability to interactively filter the data using widgets. With that, let's see the three enhancements in action. So I'm going to jump over to Clarity 16.3.0, and in here I am first in the projects list grid page, and I can see that my filter is expanded. I can see what I'm filtering by. Second, if I go into my ideas, I see that my ideas filter is also expanded, and I'm going to go ahead and collapse that. So now I don't see my filter form under my idea. And third, let's go into my value stream, which is a CIT, and in here let's go ahead and expand, and I've not applied any filter at all, but I can see that the filter is expanded. If I go back to my project, as expected, my filter is expanded. As expected in my idea, my filter is collapsed, and coming back to the value stream, I see it is expanded. Let's do the same by logging out and then re-logging back into Clarity. I land in the project, and as expected, now my filter is expanded. So it persisted that even after re-login. If I go to idea, it is collapsed. And finally, if I go to my value stream, it is expanded. So all three of those places, we've maintained the persistence of the open and closed state based on per context per user. If I now go to the second part, which is the ability to add the same attribute multiple times in a group. So here you can see I have already created a filter. And in this filter group line, I have used the overall status twice. This is where I'm filtering by my status reports, using that the status is either overall status is not empty or overall status is not equal to 0. Historically, if I had to do this, I would have to create two copies where the date is greater than January 21st, 2024, and have the overall status here, and then replicate that same report date and have the overall status added there. So now I don't need to do that, and I can include the same attribute twice. Let's see this in one other place. Let's go into projects, and in here let's go to my view where I can see all my projects. So at this point, the only filter applied is the template and active equals to no. Let's add a filter group. And now I want to filter for projects where the plan cost is not empty, the plan cost is not 0, and the ROI is greater than 50. So in order to do that, I can go in here and I can say that my plan ROI is greater than 50, and I can add another group, and there I can say my plan cost is not empty, and I can pick plan cost again and say that it is not equal to 0. So now I am able to use the same attribute within the filter group line, and I can see my data accordingly. I don't have to repeat the planned ROI twice. So that enhancement is made as part of this release. And last, let's see how we can use our widgets to interactively filter that data. For that, let's reset my view. So let's go back to all projects again. I can collapse my filter, and now I have my different filter widgets available, as well as all my data displayed. The first thing you will notice is that I have this drop down, which is called the widgets menu. This is new in 16.3.0. If I expand that, there are two options available for me. The first is the manage widgets. This is the same that used to be available in the past, where I can define my widgets or add my widget to my screen. The second, which is by default disabled, is the filter widget. So if I leave this in the current state, which is in the disabled state, if I go to my widgets, I can click on any one of these pies and nothing happens, which is the current behavior for Clarity. However, if I go back and I enable this, now I can interact with my widgets. So for example, if I want to look at all the projects where the PM ownership is Anita Rodriguez, so I can click on my slice, and you notice that my data below just got filtered where the project manager is Anita. If I want to maybe see by Patrick, I click on Patrick's slice, and that just showed up right there on the screen. So I can easily interact by clicking on those. Also notice that the other widgets have also been updated based on the data that was just filtered by clicking on the slice, and I have a visual indicator that I have filtered for this specific widget, which is the PM ownership, because there is a blue bar around it, and the slice that I'm filtering by is the one that has the higher color, whereas the rest of them are slightly grayed out. So that is a clear visual indicator. In addition, while I'm filtering for a specific slice, I cannot filter for any other using any other widgets. I can continue to filter for within that same widget itself. So again, let's do another one where the PM is none, and I can get that another list where the PMs are other than the top three actually. So that's all of their other names come up. If I click back on that same slice that I'm filtering on, I can then reset my filter, and you can see that the blue bar on that specific widget is gone, and all the slice colors for all the widgets are now in the correct color, and the data is displaying for all of mine. I can also toggle between the number and the percentage, which is the normal behavior if the interactive widget is disabled. That can happen by double clicking on my slice itself. So right now it is showing me number. If I double click, it shows me the percentage. Same thing, if I double click, it shows me the number, and I can swap it back to percentage. If I want to see only the major projects, I do a single click on that, and now all of a sudden the data gets filtered accordingly. So this way now I can perform the interactive, and I can click back on it, and I can reset. One last point, which is if you have the widget in an expanded mode like this, clicking on this will not filter the data. The filtering will only happen when you are in the non-expanded mode. Double clicking will work here, where by double clicking I can essentially toggle between number and percentage. Now if I close this, I can see the rest of the data, and I can continue to interact with mine as I need to. And with that concludes the demo, and that also concludes our filtering enhancements section. Thank you, everyone.